Hello, I'm Bo from Sweden. Welcome to my journey, being a newbie, making mistakes and searching for solutions. This is the third video and 3 in this series. We won't waste any time, so let's start. In my second video and 2, I made a lot of fundamental decisions. Now it's time to take those decisions to the next step. How to go from here to the real planning. I did look at all the ready-made track plans, but none was suiting my needs or my available space. I also created some sketches, but none of them was any good or could be used further in the process. Then I saw a video from DIY Digital Railroad where Jimmy was presenting the planning software SCARM. That seemed to be the right way to go. After trying the free version, I bought the license. There was a lot of ready-made track plans inside of SCARM to download, but none of them seems to fit my needs. I realized that I really need to do my own track plan, even if it wasn't recommended for newbies like me. But before starting the drawing of the tracks for the layout, I need to build a benchmark to put the layout on. I was watching Märklin of Sweden's video series Martin's Town, where I could follow the build from zero to completed. Martin was using an IKEA table as foundation to build the layout on. Great idea. So I started looking for a table that could fit my needs. I know the layout size, 950 by 2500. Also looked at some videos from DIY Digital Railroad to see how Jimmy was building his benchwork. You will find links to those videos in the description. I did find a nice sturdy dining room table on sale. It was only 900 by 1800, but prepared for expansion boards. Perfect, I bought that. Then I made the extensions to support the full length 2500 mm, each 350 mm long. Then I mounted wheels on the legs to make it turnable. Secured a 15 mm thick plywood with bolts to the table, making it detachable if needed in the future. Now it was time to create the space for drawers, electrical power, electronics, and room for all the wires that coming down from the layout. I made room for one power panel, one computer drawer, and one big drawer for all the electronics. 10 cm of height should be enough. Then I added the final 15 mm plywood that was going to carry the layout on top. I secured that top with hinges and on the back and added 2 pistons to make it easy to fold and open and close. Then I finalized the benchwork by adding 10 cm thick XPS in top of the plywood. XPS, extruded polystyrene, is easier to work with than EPS, expanded polystyrene. XPS is stronger and doesn't mesh up as much as EPS does. It's also easy to cut with a hot wire, shaping landscape and glue the track on. The XPS layer is also reducing and absorbing the sound from the track. The height of the table and wheels is 830 mm. This part is detachable from the layout. The height of the layout's foundation, drawers, plywood and XPS is about 240 mm. That gives me a viewing height of 1070 mm, which is an okay height from a sitting position. The layout total available height, detached from the table, is 750 mm, so I could get it out by the door if necessary in the future. That gave me a model building height of maximum 510 millimeters It's about 82 meters in scale height, almost like a 30-story high building, so my mountains will be a little bit low. Now we can continue with the track planning. I'm using SCARM, Simple Computer Aided Railway Modeler, as a planning tool to make my own track plan. The recommendation that I will follow is no S-turns. Only use smooth curves and turnouts. I will only use 2% elevation to be safe. And my curves will be as wide as possible. Well, with even 2% or even 3%, the length of the track needed to race to the next level will be too long. My solution is to have a separate, not connected top level to the bottom level of tracks. Here you can see a principal drawing over my plans for the top mountain layer. 2 reverse L-shaped mountains that is combined by a long bridge. On the plateau, I want to have a continuous dog bone track. 2 stations, one on the west mountain and one on the east mountain. The mountain continues upward from the plateau and the rail will be running in tunnels. I was working for days to get this simple track plan. I couldn't get the track to meet, always missing some millimeters, either too long, too short, or skewed. It wasn't much, but it didn't fit. It was very frustrating, and the software SCARM didn't help me to choose the track needed. Maybe there is other software that is better than SCARM, like AnyRail, ExtractCAD, or Rail Modeler. I don't know. But I already bought SCARM, so now I will use it. Then I found FlexTrack. Gosh, what a release. It was so much easier to get 2 points to connect. And at the end, the track was looking okay. No S-curves and no extreme curves. Use my ground main layer. I did several drawings, but I have to say that was very good. For every new version, there was some good improvements. I can highly recommend that you do several drawings and let some time pass between them while you're thinking about how the trains will be running. But the frustration how to get track connected was still there. Every time I went a little bit out of the standard geometry, I got into trouble to get the track to fit together again. And of all the videos I've been watching, no one was addressing this problem. Maybe it's just me having that problem. Well, let's continue. In the lower section there will be 2 stations. The north station will be placed under the upper level's bridge. In the center I will have my village with streets, shops and houses, and of course cars from the 50s. Then I will add an industry, so there is a reason for my freight trains. My so-called staging area will be inside a mountain, looking outside like a maintenance building. I will also have a hidden turntable inside the right mountain so I can turn around the locomotives. The track in the north will be raised up as much that is allowed by a 2% grade, and that should be around 3 centimeters only. The different colors of the tracks is representing blocks, individually powered, and each block having a block sensor, making it possible to see which block that's occupied by train and which block that's free. If you're interested, you could find information about blocks, power districts, and much more in the video DCC and Basic Electrics. One good thing with SCARM is the possibility to have layers. It was easy to see the upper level, how that would impact the lower level. I also used layers to add names, signals, buildings, sensors, cable and so on. Very usable. It's a pretty simple layout, but I prioritize to have a layout that is reliable, not too complicated since I'm a beginner. My challenge would probably be to make the detachable and replaceable section of buildings and landscape. I decided that track, roads and streets, mountains will be firm on the layout. Then I will see how much I could place in those detachable sections and still looking good. Then it was time to do the electrical planning. I created a separate layer in SCARM and I assigned 4 connection points, one under each station and one inside of each mountain, all reachable from the top. The wires from tracks and signal and turnouts was then connected to the closest connection point. From the connection point, a cable with a unique ID was assigned. I was using KiCad to document all the details for each connection point. Then I was using Excel to document each cable, wire and the color of each wire. Also documented how the wire should be connected all the way. I was surprised of the number of wires that was needed, and this was only the start. In my video DCC and Basic Electric, you will find useful information that could be helpful when you are doing your electrical planning, and also how you can protect the installation. After all the planning was done, it was time to put together a shopping list. But first I was using an online cable calculation tool to know what kind of cable and wire that was able to carry the voltage and current needed. I exported a list from SCARM that gave me the exact amount of track, turnouts and their product number. Then I could use this information to find dealers all around the globe that could supply my needs. All the construction material like plywood, XPS, glue and hinges, and so on, I got from local workshops. The electronics, cable, wires, sensors and connectors I found at Amazon, AliExpress and Wish. For the DCC stuff I found links on the DCC EX website. Tools and other stuff like pistons, knife organizers, colors, sanding, glue and so on I found mostly at Amazon or I Google for local shops. Here's my tip learned from my journey. Only buy what you do know is needed. I bought too much good to have initially. Don't buy second-hand track and trains. It's hard to say what condition they are in, even if they look alright. I bought some on auction. They are still in the box and they are not going to be used. Make an inventory list. Very good to have if you need to make a reclamation, return or get more products. It's also good to have for future needs. Watch videos on YouTube and learn from experienced model railroaders. But you need to be careful too. Not all videos on YouTube is having high content quality. My videos only contain detailed instruction and how-to if I couldn't find it elsewhere on a trustworthy video. Instead, I'm putting in links to those already made videos and in many times very excellent videos. During my first steps into the model railroad world, I learned some new things that wasn't described in the videos that I've been watching. The hard way, so to say. How far into the layout I could reach was only about 50 centimeters. I solved that by putting wheels on the legs. I was surprised how much light that's needed. So I put up spotlight rails in the ceiling, making it easy to mount more lights and different kind of lights if needed. By using the formula length is equal to the rise in centimeters divided with the rise in percent, I found out that 20 centimeters will need 10 meters of track with 2% rise. I solved that by dividing my layout in two not connected levels. The frustration of connecting rails when leaving the standard geometry was only partly solved when I used flex rails. I don't know if there is any better software than SCARM that could help you selecting the right track, but this was a very frustrating phase. Don't buy second-hand if you're not very sure it's in a very good condition. The number of cable and wires coming out from the layout was almost overwhelming. That is why the WICS initiative or project was starting in spring 2025. A good thing was that every time I made a change to the track plan, it did improve. That's all for this video. If you're interested, there are and there will be more videos divided in 3 series. This video is the third entry in the Newbies Journey. There is 2 videos in the electronics series and the third is prepared. There is 1 video in the WICS wireless control system and the second video is already in production. I will only announce those 3 videos in each series, but more videos will follow. And if you subscribe, you will have a notification when the videos are released. Also, you will supporting the channel. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. We are looking forward to share our next video with you. Until next time, bye.